Hi there, it's me, Tori D, and today is my quarterly money date. So what I like to do during this time is update all my tracking accounts, check to make sure all of my goals and objectives are where I need them to be, and just kind of do a general check-in on how everything is going in my financial life. So the first thing that I like to do whenever I do my money date at the beginning of each month is I update my tracking accounts. So right now my loans are all on government forbearance and will remain on forbearance while I am enrolled and finishing my doc program. So at this point, I will go ahead and reconcile my tracking accounts, and I have all of their amounts here to the side. So I always just do a reconcile because it winds up being a little bit easier for me. So we are with the market almost over $30,000 in my retirement account through work, just almost there. I was so close, and then the market took a hit, and that's just how it goes. Also, I'm going to update my brokerage and my Roth IRA. So my regular brokerage is all single stock. I have one single stock that I pretty much picked, and then I put a little bit, I think it was either VTX or VOO in there, and then my Roth IRA through Fidelity, I picked $250 a month, so I want to update this to reflect the $250 that I put in March, as well as the growth that it's had in the market, which is great to hear, because again, that's just a general, again, I think it's either VTX or VOO, I don't remember off the top of my head. Also, somehow, the used car market must be fluctuating back up because my car value went up over the course of the last month, which is a little odd, but we'll take it. My home value has not changed. I'm currently in the middle of renovations, so once all of those renovations are complete, which will be quite some time from now, I may get the house reappraised just to kind of see where it's sitting, and that mortgage will start going down here because I have my first payment for my mortgage set to come out later this week. So I also just like to check my net worth. So I'm just going to do over, I don't like that it defaults that I can't see like the last 12 months, but that's fine. But we'll see that in March, my net worth jumped up. So I have in March, I had almost $200,000 in assets. The majority of that is through my home value of $110,000, but even without the home value, that still puts me having assets around $90,000 on my own, which is great. And then the assets are kind of going down just a little bit because I am spending the money that I had saved up for renovations. So right now, my net worth is sitting at $68,000, which is great because even prior to purchasing the house, I was at $25,000-ish and had kind of been sitting near that number for a while as I was accumulating some cash to pay for those renovations. But just to know that we are climbing higher and higher in that net worth, and I haven't even really, started paying down on my mortgage or started paying my student loans back to get rid of those liabilities. So the other thing I like to do during my quarterly money date is look and make any adjustments to my categories. So I've kind of talked about some of these. I'm waiting to kind of see where my utilities are going to land and my heating oil to accommodate that. I'm also not paying for internet at the other house right now, so I don't really have to worry about that. But I do want to, within my subscriptions, there were a couple things I wanted to add. And technically I call these subscriptions, but some of them are not. So let me just check. Yeah, so this year I accidentally forgot to save for tax prep, so I added that category. Usually that'll have to happen in February or March. I just put $150. I didn't pay $150 for it, but that way I have a little bit overage. I also have a mood tracking app that I really, really like, and I have over 1,000-day streak on it, so I've been keeping track basically for over 3 years at this point straight, and used it prior to that as well. But I would really like to get the premium subscription, so I'm going to put that down in the right month. I also need to update that month because the month on there is not accurate, but that was what it was when I lived in Florida, so I'll need to update that here shortly. So this one, the target, I think it's going to wind up being about 30 bucks, so I will set that forward to next April. I'm going to purchase that here shortly. There we go. So I don't need to put a ton aside for that. I'll probably put in the what's the word I want? The introductory amount is only like $12 for the whole year, so I'll put that in there. I'll move some money around and then be saving up for the non-introductory amount following that kind of first year. The other thing I wanted to add was, and I have totally forgotten what it's called, I'm going to be honest, I think it's iCloud storage. Is that what it is? Like with your photos and stuff on your phone? I am just over, and so they have like the 99-cent one for the month, so I just need to update that, and I think that's going to be a monthly target every first of the month. Need it for spending, that should work. I think it's $1. I probably really don't even need to budget this one, but it's fine. But yeah, so I just update some of these. The other thing I like to do is just check on my goals and stuff. So the iPad's chugging along. My goals there, we are, I think, 34% funded on the iPad. I also have my cruise with one of my friends that's coming up next month. Oh, it's so exciting to be able to say that that's happening next month. I have some of our extra spending money there. I have everything set aside for my mom and I's New England cruise in September. And then I am working towards these 3 focus areas. So my dad's birthday trip next March, a dissertation writing retreat with the same friend that will be happening in February. And then my mom and I are going to go on a Trans-Pacific cruise next September. As kind of a celebration of finishing my doctoral work and all that sort of thing. And because we can. And at the same time, I'm going to be spending money and putting stuff aside for my home and garden fund because that's where my renovations are coming out of. I also, right now, my accounts technically aren't completely accurate because basically I have a couple expenses for the house that are larger and I know they're coming. So for example, the hardwoods, I'm not going to owe them for finishing the hardwoods until after the work is complete, but they already quoted me and said, here's what it's going to cost. So I want to make sure that I don't spend that money on something else. So I just want to make sure that I have that money set aside for them. I have the same thing. I have to pay my contractor, but I haven't been able to get to the bank to do the withdrawal. So I already have that as a withdrawal in my home and garden and my checking account. So right now, if I check my checking account, I actually have like 10 grand more than this. The other thing I wanted to point out, just in case anybody isn't already taking advantage of this, so I opened a high yield savings account back at the beginning of March, and basically I transferred over $30,000. So that was just sitting in my regular savings account at my regular bank, and it wasn't really doing anything for me, and it was getting me like 56 cents in interest like every 3 months or something. So I transferred this money in. I pulled 5 of it out recently, kind of in the last couple days, just so I can have some more money in my checking account to be paying for stuff as the renovations are coming due, that sort of thing. But I got, for the amount that I deposited, I got $200 in interest, $200 kind of as a bonus for opening that high yield savings account and letting that money sit there. And I think it was for putting a specific amount of money within the first like 90 days or something. And then I got the notification on the 1st that the interest had been paid out. And I was like, oh heck, I forget that on like decent savings accounts, they pay you monthly and not quarterly. And I had $70 in interest just from it sitting in my account, which is, again, having gotten 56 cents every 3 months for the same amount of money at a different bank, like it just blew my mind. So I'm actually really excited about this. Basically, once the renovations are done, I think I'm going to be keeping most of my money that's kind of liquid in a high yield savings account just so I can be making use of that interest and pulling stuff out when I need to. It has limited transactions, like 6 transactions a month or something, but if I'm really keeping on top of it and I know what I'm going to be needing money for during the course of the month, I can make good use of that. But just thought I would point that out. Mine is through Discover, because that's who I had one of my, actually my original credit card was through Discover, and they were offering a good promotion. So I said, sure. But basically that's what we've got going on for my April money date, my quarterly money date for April. So I'm going to update these. I may move some stuff off camera just to get these funded, but really looking forward to see how this quarter shakes out. I think I mentioned this in my budgeting video this last week, but you know, I spent all this time building up my age of money and building up my home and garden fund to pay for these renovations, and I'm excited to be getting them done, but also to see all that money that you've been hoarding like a dragon on a stack of gold coins for the last like year and a half, to see it kind of vanish out of your bank account some more. But also I hope to have a video up in the next couple weeks about the work that's being done on the house. It's incredible already. They've only been working on it for like 2 weeks, and it's very clearly the same house, but like there are already so many things in there that are just awesome compared to what it was. So I'm super excited to keep you all updated about that. But other than that, as always, thanks for hanging out with me whenever and wherever you may be, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.